Do companies that lay people off with no notice have the right to have you have to give 2 weeks notice when you leave the company? I say no, but I want to talk about it and get your opinion. First of all, I will tell you that each individual company sets the culture of how people are let go and what the expectation is with their own actions. Meaning that if a company does the right thing, which is that every quarter, in order to stay profitable, the leaders sit down and they go, which people are not performing? And then they go progressively discipline and either coach the people back up to performing well enough to stay at the company or coach them out. That is the responsible way that we've all agreed in the social contract here in America, is that everybody has a chance to kind of save their job and do a good job if they're performing well. That is okay and that is reasonable. Now, these companies that just let people go en masse on a quarterly or every 6 months or yearly basis, and then do a mass rehire of people the very next quarter when it looks better for their stock portfolio, let me tell you something. Those companies have set the precedent. They have set the precedent that we don't care enough about people to give them a chance to be able to retain their positions when it's financially beneficial to us, and we will just lay thousands or hundreds or thousands of people off at once, and then we'll mass rehire in a quarter when the numbers look a little bit better for us again. Now, I'm not saying that businesses don't have emergencies. I own businesses. I am an entrepreneur myself. I have a clear understanding of the fact that if a business is not doing good, sometimes you have to make cuts, and that is a very horrible thing to have to go through, and that should be an absolute last ditch effort. But most of the time that's not the case for these companies. And what I will tell you is that companies then are shocked Pikachu face when you come and you turn in notice, and first of all, just with 2 weeks, they don't like it. And then if you turn in, you say, today is going to be my last day working at this industry, this job. Because they'll be like, well, you have to give 2 weeks notice and this is unprofessional. You'll say, well, was it unprofessional 8 weeks ago when you laid off 300 people with no notice to them, with no severance? You have set the culture as the company. You are responsible for teaching the people that work for you what is acceptable. And if you act badly, do not expect them to act professionally in return. It's like a parent behaving badly and then expecting the children to not mimic their behavior. It's a ridiculous expectation. So you set the culture, companies. If you treat people fairly, if you don't lay people off en masse and then just rehire the very next quarter, if you are in a position in which you can have people go out that are underperforming and keep the people that are, and everyone else in between is treated well, then you can expect notice in return. But I think collectively, as employees in America, we are done putting ourselves over companies that do not respect us and do not give us an opportunity to save our jobs if the job is, being done correctly. So let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think that companies should be able to have the expectation that you turn in a 2-week notice if they've laid people off recently in the past en masse? Because I don't. I think it's our responsibility as employers and leaders, those of us that are in leadership, to set the standard that we want people to return to us. Let me know your thoughts.